The scorched plains of Eastern Europe stretched endlessly beneath a heavy, smoke-laden sky. The remnants of a war-torn landscape bore the scars of months of brutal combat. Craters, charred husks of tanks, and shattered villages told silent stories of loss. Amidst this chaos, Operation Iron Vortex was underway. It was a high-risk mission involving a coalition of NATO forces tasked with halting a powerful armored thrust surging across the valley of Rostov. But this time, the battlefield was more than just metal grinding over soil. In the sky above, warbirds roared, aerial beasts that hunted in packs. Captain Elena Markov, call sign Valkyrie, flew lead in a sleek AH-64 Apache longbow, the rotors slicing through the thick air. Her green eyes stayed locked on the horizon as she communicated with the rest of Ghost Squadron, a formation of 6 attack helicopters assigned to provide close air support to the embattled tank units below. She knew the terrain well. Her family once lived not far from this region, before it was swallowed by war. Today, she wasn't flying just for duty, she was flying for memories buried beneath rubble. Below, the 8th Armored Brigade, codenamed Steel Echo, was locked in a brutal encounter. Their tanks had faced off against a seemingly endless surge of enemy armor, T-90s and upgraded drones. The valley had become a steel graveyard, but the defenders were holding. Barely. Ghost Squadron, heads up. Multiple fast movers inbound, Mach 1.2. Possible enemy Su-35s, crackled the voice of AWACS control. Elena's heart skipped. Fast jets meant serious trouble. Helicopters, even ones as lethal as the Apache, were prey in a sky ruled by fighters. Ghost lead copies, Elena responded calmly. Break into combat formation. Watch for missiles. But even as she spoke, a bone-chilling warning tone pierced her headset. Radar lock. Seconds later, the sky erupted with streaks of silver. 2 R-77 air-to-air missiles were tracking them. Evasive! Evasive! She shouted, throwing her bird into a vicious dive. The landscape spun violently as the Apaches twisted away from the incoming death. One chopper wasn't fast enough. Ghost, 3 went up in a fireball that lit the valley like a sunburst. Damn it! Elena's voice cracked. Hold it together. Stick to the mission. Cover the armor. On the ground, the 8th Armored was pushing back. Amid the chaos, an old T-72, barely functional, was shielding a group of medics pulling wounded from a burning personnel carrier. That tank, bearing the name Anna painted on its side, had no reason to still be fighting. But it was. Captain Dima Sokolov was inside that tank. A legend among tankers, Dima had refused evacuation weeks ago after being injured. Now, arm in a sling, he commanded Anna through sheer will. Elena knew him well. They trained together years ago. Old friends. Maybe something more once. That was before war burned everything personal into ash. Above them, 2 Su-35s screamed past at low altitude, cannons blazing. Elena and her wingman, Ghost 2, launched hellfires in response. One jet peeled away, trailing smoke. The other circled back, furious. "We can't stay in the open," shouted Ghost 2. "They'll pick us off one by one. We don't have a choice. That tank crew is all that's keeping the medics alive." Elena snapped. But the enemy pilot was good. Almost too good. The Su-35 danced around the Apaches like a phantom, launching missile after missile, cutting the sky with thunderous afterburners. Ghost 2 took a hit and spiraled into a ridge, exploding in a plume of earth and fire. Now alone, Elena dove behind the cover of a tall bluff. Her systems were screaming, low fuel, weapons depleted. She had only one missile left. One shot. She looked down at Anna. The old tank was cornered, flanked by 2 enemy T-90s. Dima's crew was firing blindly, outgunned and nearly surrounded. She made her decision. AWACS, Valkyrie here. Transmitting last known coordinates. Enemy fighter active. No allies in range. I'm going in. Negative, Valkyrie, AWACS responded. Do not engage. You won't make it. I know, she said, smiling softly. Tell Dima. Tell him the sky still remembers him. She rose fast, punching through smoke. The Su-35 spotted her instantly. It turned like a beast unleashed, missile bay already open. Elena didn't flinch. Her HUD locked on. She whispered to her Apache, coaxing it forward, faster than it was ever meant to fly. The enemy jet loomed closer, preparing to fire. Elena waited, and then she pulled the trigger. The Hellfire lanced forward. But the jet fired first. The sky turned white. Her missile struck home. So did his. Both exploded in mid-air, a mutual destruction that lit the heavens like divine fury. Below, Dima watched it all. He recognized the maneuver instantly. Only one person ever flew like that. A sob escaped him, something raw, something he hadn't felt in years. A memory of Elena's laugh in the training fields. A promise never fulfilled. He stood in the turret of Anna, saluted the falling embers. But fate had one more twist. As dust settled, a strange buzz filled the air. Not enemy. A trio of dark shapes soared in from the west, F-16s, NATO's long-awaited reinforcements. They screamed over the valley, dropping precision munitions that shattered the enemy tanks surrounding Anna. The battlefield shifted in seconds. The 8th Armored, inspired and furious, surged forward. One final push. T-90s erupted in flames, enemy infantry scattered. By nightfall, the valley belonged to Steel Echo again. In the aftermath, among the broken choppers and ruined armor, they found Elena's Apache. The cockpit was destroyed. But the data core had survived. In it was a voice recording. Her last message. To whoever finds this, this wasn't just a battle. This was a promise. We fight so that one day no child sees war in the sky. If I don't make it, tell Dima he still owes me that cup of coffee. And tell the sky. I never stopped dancing. Months later, in a rebuilt forward base cafe, Dima sat alone. A steaming cup rested across from him, untouched. A small photo beside it showed a younger Elena, helmet off, smiling wide. He raised his cup. To the sky, he whispered. Outside, the wind howled softly through the flags at half-mast. And above them, far beyond clouds, the echoes of one final flight still lingered.